Hello everybody, I'm Serti and welcome back to Planet Crafter. We are in the stable version of the latest update, the Fish and Drones update, and as you can see I've reverted back to an old save just to show you what my base used to look like, because I had my little bio-automation area up there and various things going on around the map. Nothing major important, but this is a huge update. So basically, we took our base from that to this. As you can see, the old base is gone. I've created a new base. I wanted something a little bit more compact, a little bit of symmetry, and I did a fair bit of work on it while waiting for the update to drop. But now the update is out, so we'll start going through everything that's in this update. Well, first of all, there's fish. Look at all those fish. Very cool. Right, while I'm out here, the algae generator T2 has been redone, so the algae spawns closer to the unit. It makes it easier for autocrafters, which we'll get into shortly. And I think the foliage, still spreads out fairly far, but the actual algae is closer to the generator. And then we have drones. Now, what drones do, once you build your first drone port, you see I have 25 drones in here, and I've got another one over there with 25 drones. You can have, I suppose you can have a lot of drones with just one station, and if they don't have a home, they kind of just float above it if they're not busy. But at the moment, they're not busy because all my containers are full. So once you build it, all your containers and some other equipment will get this little symbol, which is supply and demand, and you can set items to supply and demand. So for example, I have a whole bunch of miners out all over the place, and I've set them as supply, and I've set the containers I want them to fill as demand, and there's all your stuff. Now this is my storeroom where I've got some special stuff, the circuit boards, rocket engines, fabric and pulsars, all being created here from the material in here because it's all fairly close by. If we go upstairs, we have our biogenetics lab. In here, you'll notice, we can now autocraft common lavas, which is important because common lava is a recipe somewhere now. I've forgotten where. Well, doesn't matter. But yes, I've got all my stuff over here, and then fish. Let's have a look at how the fish process works. First of all, you need phytoplankton, and there are three different types of phytoplankton A, B, and C, and you get those by using these life water collectors. And some of them also, depending on where they're located, will collect the fish eggs. Okay, so these are all A's, but you do get a variety. These, because they have an inventory, a container, you can actually set them to supply. So I'm using them to fill containers up in the biolab. Okay, so once you've done that, you need to put them into an incubator, very much like the butterflies, and there are recipes. So the Proteus, which is the smallest one multiplier-wise, needs mutagen 3, phytoplankton A, and fertilizer. That would apply to the 1 and 2, but the ones you can find in the wild. I better get something to eat. I'll be right back. So then the Guerrero uses phytoplankton B, mutagen 3, and fertilizer. That will make the 3 and the 4. The Ulani uses the phytoplankton C, mutagen and fertilizer, and that will make the Ulani eggs. This is a bit of a special one. This Alera egg is phytoplankton C with mutagen 2, so just bear that in mind. And then of course there are various places around the map that you can put the life water collectors to collect all the others, and there are, as a spoiler, 11 in total. If we head over to my command center, that is what they all look like. So pretty cool. Anyway, this is my new command center. So once you've got those eggs, then you can put them into various things. The first thing you can put them into is an aquarium tier 1. And this takes 2 eggs, so you can have 2 different types of fish swimming around. Second thing you can put them into, bear in mind the aquariums don't offer much value in terms of terraforming. But then there's this, which which is the aquarium tier 2, which you can put 3 eggs into, and well, you can swim with the fish if you like. Right, so that's that. The third place you can put them into is the fish farms. And the fish farms are these guys out here. They take an egg and you just land up with a whole bunch of fish and lots of movement in your world that you are now terraforming very well. So that's that. Drones covered, fish covered. There is a new wreck, which is quite big. So let me go through the base quickly with you, and then we will head out to where the new wreck is. There's a new golden chest, and there's lots of resources lying around. So the base itself, I've got storage downstairs. I have my control room with a bit of a brag lounge. I've got my biodome, and if you go through the front door, obviously done a lot of decorating, waiting for the new update to arrive. There's algae growing on my patio. But anyway, we have a patio which we can come and chill out and watch the view. Then if we go upstairs, on this side we have the living quarters. A couple of beds, making space in case I find some dude who miraculously survived. And on the other side, then we just have the genetics lab for all the bio stuff. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but almost everything is automated. There are a few things that can't be automated. For example, you can't use the drones to collect algae because algae doesn't have an inventory. But that doesn't matter because you can use your autocrafters to pull algae. The same applies to the farms. You can't use the drones to collect food from the farms. So the answer to that is to have a biolab over the water where you have algae growing underneath, farms on top, and every part of that process is automated. So I've got all my mutagens, I've got my fertilizers, I've got food, and I've got bioplastics being produced, and then they're just all set to supply, and the drones will come and pick them up and fill the containers at my base where I will collect that stuff to go and build terraforming machines. So that's that. Another thing we can look at, by the way, the water can be collected by drones. So if we head over here, I've got kind of a bit of my old farm left. It's not doing anything, but you'll notice these. These look the same as the original gas extractors, but these are gas extractors tier 2, which means they now hold 8 instead of 4, and you can select which gas they extract. So this one is extracting oxygen, these 2 methane, and these 3 methane, and these 2 are collecting the new gas, which is nitrogen. And nitrogen is used in the production of some high-end sort of end-game stuff. I think you only get access to that once you have breathable air. And those the drones can collect and go and fill up containers at my storeroom and also at the bio area because some of it's used there. So that's all the separation. And then you wonder where my rods and sort of high-end materials are coming from. Well, this is my rod production facility where I'm producing all the rods, iridium, uranium, superalloy, osmium, and because the material is here, I'm doing the explosives here as well. And all of this material is just being demanded from the mines, and that's it. So let's take a gander at all the other stuff. There's a lot in this update. It's really nice. So if we head over to the unlocks, okay, one of the new items in the game is a deconstruct chip tier 2, which is unlocked with the blueprint microchips. And there are also 2 new rockets. We'll pop down there and have a look at them shortly. There are a few items that unlock with terraforming, and those are obviously the drone ports, the aquariums, circuit boards, and over here we have the water life collectors, mutagen tier 3, and I don't think there's anything else under there. And then we can go through here and have a look at the unlocks in the biomass side. We've got the fish, the aquarium 2, the gas extractor 2, nothing over there, and then all of the animal stuff. Extra eggs, fish display, fish farm. And now we can produce lerma, which is really big. Common larva, I've already spoken about, but lerma is really big. The lerma was limited in the map before, so we could only have a certain number of plant rockets. But now you can produce Lerma in the here, and you need mutagen 3, fertilizer, and phytoplankton A to do it, which means that you can now launch loads and loads of plant rockets and boost your plant terraforming. If you come over to the advanced crafting station, you'll see that you can now also craft circuit boards. Now the circuit boards come out after the drones, but the drones need circuit boards, and that's what your tier 2 deconstruction chip is for. That can be crafted in the, it's very dark, so sorry about that, in your crafting station tier 2, and that requires 2 nitrogen and your microchip deconstruction chip. You don't need both, you don't need to carry both of them, so you can just disable that one and use it to make your T2, because the T2 deconstructs anything. But the T1 won't deconstruct servers, which are a new thing, which we'll have a look at it when we get to the new wreck. Let's pop over to the rockets quickly. It's almost morning, light is getting better, so let's have a look at these rockets. We have 2 new rockets. We have the GPS satellite tier 4, as you can see, circuit boards. That allows you to zoom further out on the map, which is pretty cool. And the other one is the drone visualization rocket, which allows you to see where your drones are on your map. So it doesn't provide anything other than to show where your drones are running around when you're on your map. Let's get back to base, and we're going to head out to the super alloy mine, so you can just see how my setup is over there. Super alloy mine. Alright. So I've just got in almost every mining spot I've got this. I think the sulfur mine I don't. But yeah. What you will notice about the miners, if you played this game in the previous version, you would be able to put these miners pretty much anywhere and mine whatever you want. Now you can't. The only things that can be mined anywhere are the basic stuff, the sulfur, and you are now area dependent, like the T1s and T2s were, on what other materials you'll be able to extract. So I have set this one specifically, because you can do that with the tier 3 miner. I've set this one specifically to mine super alloy. I've got a whole bunch of them, and they are all set to supply. So whenever anything is taken out of my container, the super alloy container in my base, some of the drones will just head out to this mine and pick up and go and replenish that. So yeah, it just means that you can go crazy with terraforming in the late game, because you can just keep filling containers and they just keep filling up. Okay, let's get to the big part. Let's go down to, okay, not like everything else was small, but this update is so big. The waterfall area has changed a lot. The trees that you're seeing here are not from my doing, well, I suppose from the terraforming, but there's no tree spreaders here, and it looks really cool. Alright, so now the first thing we can look at is going through the waterfall, and you will come out in a cave. Now, I know that lots of people kind of knew this was coming, because, you know, big chunk of rock, you can't not have a cave. But yeah, there are a couple of containers in here, and there's a message. Okay, what was supposed to be fun, relaxing time turned into a nightmare. 5-week space cruise across a lesser known part of the universe. Unfortunately, our stupid crew was not able to respond to a seemingly minor incident, and we're here, burying the few bodies we were able to retrieve from the burning wreck. What will happen to us now will most certainly be similar. We are heading west, and see how long we can survive. Would say a few days at most. Some survivors of the Sonata, at least for now. 3043. Interesting. Okay, and there are a couple of containers. I'm not going to take stuff out of them because my container is already full. And this is an interesting one. If you can get to this area early game, you get your agility boots and oxygen tanks and exoskeletons. But I mean, then you'd have to literally set up in this area. If there are lermas, I might. Yes, that's it in here. There is also another golden crate, which I found completely by chance. I was just exploring, and I saw that there are ramps going up to the top of the waterfall now. So let's head to that. Alright, so I'm around the back of the waterfall now. You can see this area has been done, and in the distance you'll see something. We'll get there. But yeah, there's ramps. So we can head up the side. And you know, whenever game developers put a ramp somewhere, you know that it leads somewhere. So we are heading up. We're at the top. You can see the waterfall is over there. And not really the top, but we can pop in through this waterfall. And there's our golden crate. And we can take the Loma, we can take the... Cool, do I need another one of those? Okay. And the golden effigy. So you know where it is. It's on the western side of the waterfall, up on the top, pretty high up. I think you can see the trees from below. Anyway, so we're going to just, with our jetpack, jump down and go over to the new wreck, which is over there. Now, before we get to the wreck, let's just dive into the pool, because there is a container down here. And nothing that I really want, so we'll move on. Okay, and we enter the new wreck. Okay, let's start on this side. Now, I have intentionally not done much exploring in here, so I could go through with everybody in this video. So, a lot of what I'll be finding will be brand new to me. And we can head down here. How cool are these rooms? Look at that staircase. Wouldn't you love that in your base? Locked doors. Oh, cryo tubes. Interesting there. Another container. Doors. Alright. Can't remember if I checked that one. Okay, then we can head across the passage to the other side. Looks pretty much the same. You can deconstruct these. Okay, and we head to the top. More locked doors. And there is just the sleeping quarters. Doesn't seem to be anything in the cupboards. Nothing interesting there. Now see, the thing is, I am already well advanced in the game. I would probably have found a lot more use with these items that are in the containers had this been a new playthrough with the unlocks happening as they happen. Okay, so we've seen there are quite a few closed doors. I should have brought food with me. Okay, and here are the servers. Okay, now they're in all the wrecks, and there's a lot of them. So you can, before the circuit boards unlock, you can actually collect a lot. So if I was to break these down, because I have the deconstruct chip 2, I get a circuit board for each one that I break down. I don't want to collect too many because I already have quite a few. But this is interesting. Okay, I have to get that out of the way. We have... there's a lot of circuit boards in here. We have a new fusion reactor. That's pretty cool. And look at that. It takes 3. And yeah, Birdie told me. So I have 3 fusion cells. And the red lights come on, meaning that there is power. And now that happens wherever you put the fusion cells into the reactors. So if I put my torch off, you can still sort of see with the emergency lighting. Okay, so lots more servers, more storage crates, and wow, there's going to be more areas to explore. Alright, I'm going to head back to base. I'm going to go and get myself some food. Obviously all those doors have opened. Just run through. I think all the doors were on the upstairs. Oh, there we go. And yeah, that was open. More goodies, oh my word, that's a lot of pulsar. Yeah, I have a lot of pulsar already. When I get new pulsar out in the world or from the pulsar rocket, pulsar asteroids, meteors, what I do is I just add to my power supply. More cool stuff. Okay, go around to the other side. Huh, these doors didn't open. I wonder why. It did open here. It's this. Let's see. Is there anything destructible in here? Storage crates. No. Oh, and this opened as well. And a storage locker with some nice goodies in it as well. Okay, so those opened upstairs on this side. The round doors opened. Okay, it is possible I'm going to miss something because I didn't really prep for this part of the game. Walls can be broken down. Alright, well I'm going to do some exploring off camera and see if there's anything else that'll come out in the next video. But yeah, that is the new wreck. Lots of nice stuff and probably a lot more valuable. You start a new playthrough and you know, I wasn't going to, but I might do. And you know, this is because this update is a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. We're back at base, and as you can see, I haven't really focused much on terraforming in this playthrough. I wanted it to be slow and steady so that everyone can see what can be done and when it can be done. But let's have a quick chat about the changelog. So we've been through most of it, and I don't know if we've covered everything, but there's been a lot of improvements. So obviously the ore extractors, tier 3, the change in those to be location specific for your special products, that you need to extract. Deconstruction chip 2, there are 3 new Steam achievements, so for those playing there. Waterfall section's been reworked, we've been there. New fusion generator and a crashed ship in the desert, so that we've got that. The drone system, the inventories with supply and demand, so those are all done. There are 11 species of fish to incubate or find, and I think we'll go through where you can put your life water extractors or water life extractors to get some of those extra ones, especially the golden. That's one thing I didn't cover. It's like there's always a fantastical one. Here we have the golden one, which you can see I have a couple swimming around in here because you can actually make them with recipe C, which is the same as that one, this one, with the mutagen 3 phytoplankton C. It is more rare than the Ulani, but the golden ones do also get produced there. Also, I think I picked up a couple of, which is the Buyu. Anyway, so we got the aquariums T1, T2, the fish farms, the drone stations, drone 1, mutagen 3, gas extractor 2, the circuit boards, phytoplanktons 1, 2, and 3, nitrogen cartridges. We have the new golden effigy, which I will place somewhere. Let's see if I can find a spot for it. Maybe the living quarters. Ah, heck. Everything's full. I think a centerpiece on this table would be good. So to place these effigies, you right click and then you just put your cursor in the middle and boom, there it is. Okay, I have to just find another spot for the one I just picked up. The rocket map, the drone visibility rocket, seed loam is craftable, common lavas are craftable. So we've been through all of that. There's been a lot of bug fixes, and for some reason the game does feel a bit smoother. I'm playing on Ultra. I don't have a great processor. I've got a good graphics card, but I don't have a great processor, and I know that Unity is quite strong on using processor power, but this game, yeah, I'm not really having a problem, and I'm playing on Ultra graphics level, so I think at 120 frames a second. Let's go and have a look. Options, graphics. Yeah. So, yeah, it works pretty well. There's been some balancing. We've spoken about the algae spreader. There's been other balancing on increasing and decreasing various items in the game. I think you can look around. Just so that you know, Early game, you probably shouldn't collect a lot of container, or collect the containers that you can reach. Don't go around specifically to collect what's in containers, because as your stages progress, it unlocks new items that will appear in containers. So running around collecting lots and lots of containers and going on expeditions purely to collect containers may actually hurt your progress later on. So just bear that in mind. So, for example, in this update, where was it? Yeah, new loot for containers for fish stage. So yeah, bear that in mind. The incubator automatically starts a recipe. Oh, that's right, yes. Let's go and put something in an incubator. Now, you'll notice, this is a Milani, which is a 250. We put these in, and when you hit research, if it finds a recipe, it used to ask you to start sequencing. Right now, if you click research, it immediately starts sequencing if it finds a recipe. Which is pretty cool, because the number of times I forgot to start sequencing was annoying. Off to do an expedition, all of these are full, you get back and none of them have done anything. So that's quite nice. I'm not sure, but I'm going to assume that it works the same with the DNA manipulators. I have just hit 200 followers or 200 subscribers on my channel, so yeah, thank you very much for your support. It's been fun. Purely based my channel on this game. I've done a few others, and I probably will do others in the future, but I really enjoy this game. It's easy to show. It's nice and relaxing to play. So yeah, if you like my videos, give us a like. Let me know if I missed anything, if you can see anything that I missed, or if you've got any suggestions. If you want to see more, subscribe, and there will be more videos coming out. I'm probably going to do a live stream at some point after this video is released, just for fun, and we'll see how it goes. But I think that's where we're going to leave it. I thank you very much for joining me. Thank you for your support, and until next time, cheers.